Thank you very much. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Are we good? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Mr. Nicholas Moore, the Permanent Secretary of from the Ministry of Sports, Recreation and Culture in Zimbabwe, dear APN founding members, dear APN members, dear participants, friends, technical support people, the media, I salute. We are a little bit behind schedule, so mine will be to introduce us to the objective of this session. I know most of you knows about it, in this morning, again, to welcome us all to the 2024 APN Assembly. And I'm a little bit nervous because I'm extremely excited to see all of us here. My voice is a little bit gone because I'm coming from bad flu, though I really need to be content into what I want to talk about. You know, when you see your sisters and brothers you haven't seen for so long, it gets a little bit excited. I wanted to rush and grab that chicken and start to cook, but I have to be here at the podium. This is not our culture anyway. So that is how happy I am to see you all in Victoria Falls. They call it Mosia Tunya, and they used to call it Mosia Tunya, and you would like you to call it Mosia Tunya. The colonizers changed, I will still call it Mosia Tunya. And when we first started to think about this assembly, and that was when we closed and ended 2022 assembly on the 11th of November in Tenga, Uganda, we already started to think about how we want to liberate, to make liberation at the center of our conversation. And maybe I should start by mentioning that we wanted a center or a vision to become that assembly is actually a place where most of us will feel like we are taking a step forward, because we have been challenged by undertaking assemblies, and when we leave the assembly, we don't feel that we have taken any step forward, because most of us go and start to do business as usual. So we took that challenge from 2022 assembly in Entebbe, and we had that in us. And the truth is, I want to say, when we started to plan for this assembly, I had to start with the vision. And the vision that I had ever since was that we need to have a collective vision. As a network, something that I thought could work, not just for a handful of our members, but someone that we can all agree and is important for the whole continent. So that was the vision. So it was a little bit tough for us. The vision of the Africa we want that in this assembly is we want to work towards an Africa that is free. So that is what we opted to take the route from. Free from wars, free from conflicts, free from poverty, free from colonial mindset. And we envision an Africa where all marginalized populations are marginalized no longer. And we all have access to equitable resources, and we are treated with dignity. It is a very bold and broad vision. And we know from ample of experiences that we cannot achieve any sustainable, long-lasting freedom without collaboration. This vision we have that we all work towards in this assembly will require all of us to put effort and expertise in our humility. And it requires this because the struggles we endure are all our cross to carry. If we want to be free, we can no longer afford to accept this truth And the truth is, all our struggles are interconnected. And my brother Davis told us this morning. So when we had a clear vision, what we did was to invite our members to submit sessions, discussion, and ideas you thought were most important and pertinent to discuss in accordance to the freedom from collective struggle. So that was the invitation from us. And we quickly saw recurring themes in the proposals, which inspired us to have three sub-themes. One is policy and practice. The second one is knowledge production. The third one is movement building. Each of these assembly days, each of the assembly days is dedicated to specific theme. I believe you have noted that from the program, the small notebook that we gave you. We really want you to immerse yourself into these themes of the day, because I'm addressing us today. So the theme of today is policy and practice, and really is the relationship between policy and practice. How do we create an enabling environment for better policies? And how do these policies translate into better practices? In case of philanthropic practices that are not even formally recognized, how can we move in such a way that practices and the people that practice them are informed in policy-making processes? Because we all contribute to national development. So this will center our conversations today. And tomorrow is knowledge production and dissemination. The story of the continent is not told by us. Oftentimes it's told by those who don't know us. They understand very little about us. So we think it's also very important, and you say it is important. The questions there in the discussion will center around how do we create, again, it centers around the fact that there is so much indigenous wisdom in ways that Africans have historically produced knowledge. And we regularly tap into. So how do we regularly tap those with African knowledge production wisdom into our work? So that will center our conversations tomorrow. And what about use of language? How do we ensure that we are all using it in to dismantle power dynamics instead of upholding them, even amongst ourselves? Consider that we have dominant languages and how that might alienate some of us. Over 3,000 ethnic languages, more than 15 imposed languages, and key 6 colonial languages. How cognizant are we by the fact that using those languages is not going to perpetuate and extend and deepen the silos things? How are we going to use languages in a manner that we can bring our collectiveness and make sure no one is left behind? And on the last day, we are talking about movement building. And that, I think, for us is the center of what our members have asked us to do at the Secretariat, and most of you have you know that. So on this day, we want to say the first day we talk about the policy practices and the relationships. The second day we talked about knowledge production. What is it that we know? What is it that we don't know? What are the approaches that we should consider adapting so that we remain relevant? Oftentimes we start initiatives and African peoples are very far from those movements. We say we have a movement of the youth, but youth are not centered. Resources come first, people come. So how can we center in our movements? So the discussion questions, which are also in your book, would include how do we support these movements such that they remain with their integrity intact, because they are there. We don't want to start registering them and change their dignity because we are giving them a new outfit or new names, baptized. Others would be, how can we learn them from those who are at the front of this movement already? And what can we teach ourselves about the resilience and impact? And last but not least, we'll be discussing about what does it mean to be in solidarity with each other in the movement for African philanthropy. How do we collaborate with others, other change makers that have typically separated ourselves from? Because what we have now is us and them. How do we then enhance that collaboration? So I wanted to conclude by to end by reminding us that we may not have so many other technologies to use here because we want to interact as human beings, but we have produced this small notebook. It has everything for you to follow on, from the content to the questions that those which will help you to reflect on and put your ideas for what is it that you will do later on. We want to encourage you to have deep and honest conversations, connect, come out with at least 5 new friends and people you start to work with, and come out with new lessons, share generously, and in the end, make sure that you at least are able to say, I'm going to do this different. Because that is the struggle I revealed here I had when I was planning for this 2 years. I was saying, I've been here, this is my 5th year, I've done 2 assemblies. People come as if we never had an assembly before. So how can we work differently? How can we come out of our logos and egos and start to connect better? And I think that is what we're doing, including amplifying our positions and our contributions to the development. And Permanent Secretary, Mr. Nicholas Moore, that's why we're here. When I was debriefing him, I told him we all work very closely with the government. We require to do better, but also we require our governments to understand us as people's representatives and create the environment for us to operate better for the development of our communities. Colleagues, we have power to transform the challenges we have. Let's use the 3 days to deeply reflect on that, deeply give ourselves insights and space to exercise what we have. Kindly revisit our community guidelines. There is no correct answer, there is no wrong answer here. We are here to connect, we are here to learn, we are here to inspire others, we are here to think about what is it that we will do together in the future. We'll revisit this conversation on Thursday when we'll be closing. Much love to you all. Thank you so very much. Thank you for the space and welcome. Please use the space. This meeting is yours, the program is yours, you have co-created it. Do justice to it. Thank you.